Look who has arrived, our guest star and co-host for the next hour,
An
Joyce
hour?
Bulifant.
Yes.
I get to talk for an hour?
You do, Joyce
so
Bulifant.
excited.
It is such a pleasure to have you with us. I can't tell you.
Well, I can't tell you how nice it is to be asked to come here so early in the
despite the
morning.
early morning call.
We were supposed to have her here yesterday, but somebody overslept. I'm not pointing fingers.
No, it was not I that overslept. The alarm overslept.
That's a
Oh,
good
I
point.
see. Blame it on the technology.
It is definitely a technical thing.
It's a tough hour to
But
get.
I'm here this morning.
I am so glad you're in. We're going to talk a little bit later about an event that the two of you are actually involved with.
Yeah.
MC and
You're so
keynote
pretty
speaker.
in person.
Oh, so are you.
I like
Thank
seeing
you.
You, I don't know.
Okay, thanks. All right. Oh, it's a rough room, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you are going to be the keynote speaker for Women Who Lead.
Yes.
Yes. And I think that's pretty impressive
You did
because...
say lead, not read.
Lead.
Lead, okay.
Yes, lead. You're a leader.
Yes.
We're okay then.
You are a leader, and you've been around, you know, and aren't we
I've been
lucky?
around?
You've been around. I mean that in a nice way. Come on, don't put words in my mouth. In such a nice way, because you are going to be the keynote speaker with a message, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit.
Okay.
Because I think probably a lot of people can relate to that, whether they're a man or a woman.
Would you tell me what the message is?
Well, she hasn't written her speech yet, Joe.
I think she has, because I think she's lived it.
Well, yes, probably. But you know
so.
what? It's interesting because when I speak, and I speak a lot, I have spoken about dyslexia.
Yes.
Because I am the executive vice president of the Dyslexia Foundation, being dyslexic.
Yeah.
And I've spoken all over the United States to schools and parents and teachers. And I never know exactly, I have so much to say about it. And so I never know what I'm going to say.
Well, but that's good though,
So,
because
but-
then it's fresh.
Well, I
It's
kind
real.
of, yeah, and I kind of, before I speak, I say a little prayer. Please let me say the things that these people need to hear.
Yeah.
And it comes out, okay.
I'm sure it
We'll
does.
see.
We'll see. We have an
We're
hour
going
to find out.
Yeah, we're going to continue this conversation. We are so thrilled to have Joyce Bulifant with us. We'll take a break and we'll be right back.
Great job.
This is NBC Palm Springs.
No, it's going to be this
Good
morning.
morning. Joe
Oh, it
is
is.
very
It
involved
is.
in the conversation with Joyce, who we are blessed to have here today. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for
Our
asking me.
third co-host.
Yeah, it is
Fourth.
such a thrill to have you.
You are so sweet.
But we got to see you. I was at an event at the college talking about news.
Yeah.
And way in the distance, I hear somebody ask a question.
A
good one.
distinct voice.
A distinct voice, and I said to the audience, "That's Joyce Bulifant."
I said,
And
"How
everybody
did you know me?"
just went, "What?"
So funny.
It was wonderful.
It was a good question, wasn't it?
It was a good question.
What was it?
It was good, as I recall.
The first thing I said to Joe this morning was, "Good get, Joe."
Oh, this is such a
Because
great
we had you
get.
here. We had you
That
here.
is so kind of
And
you.
then saw Joyce over at the Luminaries at the CV Rep.
Wasn't that fun
That
evening?
was such fun.
I was worried. You put 12, was it 12 actors?
Oh, it was a lot.
A lot of actors on the stage.
Yeah.
And you give them a mic.
A mic.
Right.
You're in a lot of trouble.
Okay.
But Patrick really handled it well.
Yeah.
It was like,
Everybody was so good and so kind, and they all had a message, and it was wonderful.
Yeah.
And you have a message that we're going to talk about in a little bit.
Lots of messages.
Yes. you live quite
One
the
to
life.
focus
I
on.
had so many pigeons I had to send out with my messages.
I tell you, you've had quite a life. Yes.
All right.
And
Let's
she's
get
got
to
a
weather,
book, too.
and Jerry will hear a little bit about Valley weather
Yeah.
this Tuesday.
Yeah.
Did you like the weather yesterday?
Oh, did you manage that?
Yes, I did.
Wow,
I'm going to
you
give you
did.
another day of it today. How's
Oh,
that?
really?
Hey, I'm glad you brought your iconic smile with you. You know? I love that,
Thank you.
okay?
I'm glad you brought your iconic handsomeness.
Oh, where are the boobs?
Jerry's single.
I'm doing the weather.
I have weather to talk about right now, but I'll be back, I promise, okay?
Boy.
Thursday, we have...
What's happening Thursday?
Thursday, we have a chance of rain.
Rain?
Yes. But probably not here, though.
Not
See,
here.
yeah, SoCal showers. You know
SoCal?
what, you know what SoCal
You
stands
missed
for, right?
the social, S-O-C-I-A-L, social shout. No, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. But the high today, what's it going to be?
98?
Yeah,
That's
for
not
Palm
bad.
Springs. Not too bad.
But with wind.
Well, they're going to be breezy today, but they will get stronger tomorrow.
It was breezy yesterday. It was like
Yeah.
an ocean, lovely.
But it was nice breeze.
It was very nice.
But how about windy?
No, no.
Yeah, that's going to happen
It
Thursday.
messes up things.
Yeah,
Are
it
you
does.
married?
No, I'm not.
You're not?
No, I'm not.
I am so jealous.
Joe?
Well, somebody did a pretty nice job doing the weather earlier,
Yes.
and I think I am a bit jealous.
Yes,
that,
Jerry does the weather
Yes.
fabulously every day, but
Yes.
today we have Joyce Bulifant.
she thinks she's a meteorologist.
I'm not?
You're not.
But you are a pet expert. You're going to be doing our pet segment with me.
Oh, good.
So
good.
we're going to meet a dog that needs a home a little later.
Oh, that's what I did. I got our dog at the Indio shelter. And Roger said when we got married, he'd wish we'd had a little girl together. And we lost one dog and I said, well, never, it was very sad, a coyote.
Yeah.
And I said, that's
Yeah.
it, no more pets. Both of us said, not gonna do that. So one day, after a year or so, I found myself at the Indio shelter, and there was a tiny little, she was only 3 weeks old.
And you had to. Oh, and
Might
here.
as well introduce her now.
Hi, how are you,
Bring her in. Joyce is looking for a new dog.
We have several puppies in there.
Oh, look at this little
my
guy.
All right, can we bring this one over?
Yeah,
Oh,
Look at
baby.
him, Mark.
He's
I got a
wiggly.
name for you.
Wiggly?
Spats.
Spats? Oh, that's right, with the feet.
You are
Perfect.
So, oh my gosh, look at that face.
Well, speaking
Stole the show.
of,
Oh, you're
as we
so
were weather,
cute.
let's turn it over to Jerry so we can get a taste of what our day is going to be like.
Hello.
All right, thank you, Jerry. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back. Watch this.
Cat food. My cats prefer these little cans. They're meatier, but they're expensive. So with 2 cats, I'll also buy the tall cans. They're cheaper.
Get together with new Lovin' Spoonfuls. The rich goodness of small cans
They love it.
at a really sensible price.
I love it.
Lovin' Spoonfuls. Tender little chunks that cats really love at an everyday sensible price. Get together with Lovin' Spoonfuls. New from Purina.
And another home, a dog that needs a home, sitting right here with us today with Kat Smith from the Palm Springs Animal Shelter. We'll learn all about this little guy who's been renamed Spats. Hi,
Thanks to Joyce.
Bulifant.
Because he has showy spats.
I like it.
See that?
What was the original name, though?
He's one of the, actually he's, which T? He's one of the T's. His mom is named Chai. That's what I remember from this morning.
Okay, so he's up for grabs with the name.
With an entire litter, yes. Yes.
All right.
And what kind?
They're an all-American shelter dog, so his mom looks like she's a little bit of a
All-American shelter
mix.
dog.
She looks a little bit boxerish, maybe, but they're just definitely a mix, so the best kind.
Absolutely adorable. We have so much more news and weather coming your way. Don't move.
More weather?
Yes, more weather.
More Jerry.
Don't go over there. You're banned from the weather set.
Valley Pet Finder, brought to you by Torrey Nissan. We say yes.
Welcome back, friends. Our friend Kat Smith is here from the Palm Springs Animal Shelter, and if you notice, we also have Joyce Bulifant.
Somebody else from the other animal shelter.
Bulifant, I'm sorry.
You just
I
made
made
it
your
French.
name Italian.
The human shelter. We have the dog over here, and we have Joyce over here.
And Joyce, no, Joyce, you've named the dog already.
I did, yes, Spats. Hey, Spats. Hey, Spats.
Yes, see how he's reacting to that? With his little paws there that look like spats.
Well, he's Spats. The newly coined Spats is actually part of the hot tea litter that's going to become available next Wednesday. Their mom's name is Chai, so all adoptable. But yeah, they'll be available next Wednesday. So cute, like all real sturdy, real roly-poly guys.
And you said initially he was chamomile, right?
Yeah,
So-
maybe chamomile. It's a
Chamomile, that
he's
doesn't work.
named
No.
after a tea, but it doesn't. Yeah,
No,
it doesn't,
that
he doesn't
doesn't-
feel that way.
But the good thing is somebody who adopts Spats can name him
Absolutely.
whatever
Oh, no.
they like.
And I think since Joyce chose Spats, that would be an honor to keep it Spats.
She's a little sensitive about that.
Well, they Absolutely. They can name their puppies whatever they like, and if
true.
they want to keep it Spats, then I'm
Even
sure.
a middle name if they don't like Spats could be a middle name.
For sure. But all of the puppies, they'll come spayed, neutered, microchipped, and ready to go to a loving home with a clean bill of health. So.
And you said 6 dogs?
I think there's 6 of them.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a pretty decent sized litter of boys and girls. This, of course, is a little boy here. But yeah, they're just now to the point where they're ready to be spayed and neutered and find their forever homes. And their mom has been such a loving mom. And of course, they've gotten so much attention at the shelter.
And the great thing about a puppy is you raise them. So however he turns out, it's up to you.
It's true. And having a puppy is like having a baby. I mean, they can be a lot of work. So it's just something you want to be conscious of. If you adopt, how they turn out is how much time you put into them.
Yeah.
So training and puppy-proofing your home, making sure that they're ready to be loved on and be good little stewards in your life is important.
So when they're separated from the litter, do they have anxiety that we know of, to leave their other siblings?
Sure. I mean, there's definitely, the weaning part of a mom saying, getting to the point where she's kind of tired of the puppies because they're too old to nurse and they're crazy with each other. They fight and not fight, but they're really, really playful all the time. So it's the natural order of things. But yeah, they can miss them. I mean, there's definitely some puppy crying usually the first night away. I mean, this little guy definitely was sad to leave his siblings this morning and kind of whined in the car, but then he's all right.
We want to remind people with all these disturbing stories too about puppies being thrown in the dumpster. Please take the dogs to the shelter, right?
Absolutely. Palm Springs Animal Shelter, we are happy to take in any animal. We definitely want to make sure that, and if we can't take the animal, so if you're outside of Palm Springs, we know people that can and have the resources to make sure, but definitely there is never a reason to think that you can't have a good resource with your animals.
And there's no excuse for the animal cruelty that's going on.
Ever. Yeah.
Yeah, I always say I'm always leery of people who don't like dogs. Oh, you're a sweetheart.
I have a question to ask you.
Go ahead.
Do dogs, I read that dogs don't have a sense of time. Is that true? Do you think that if you, that they don't know how long you're away and when you come back that
Oh, I think dogs have a sense of time. I think that dogs are very accustomed to routine, and so they can definitely sense if you're gone longer than normal. But the thing to them is that they miss you equally, whether you're gone for 2 minutes or 2 days.
I know if I go to the garage and come back, you would have thought I was gone for a month.
They're so excited to see you.
Yeah.
That's more of their sense of joy of how much they care about you. They say that when dogs are dreaming, a lot of times when they're dreaming, majority of their dreams are composed of you because that's what they're thinking about the most.
So if you're looking for love, Spats is available.
You know what? Even if it's not true, I love the story.
I always wonder, which dog did you talk to get that in?
The dog whisperer. All right, we'll be back in 2 minutes. Stay with us.
Oh, we got to turn you around.
Good morning. Thank you so much for waking up with us this Tuesday. A very exciting morning, a full couch, right, Joe?
It is. We have room for more, though. Always
Better
room
than
for
playing
more.
with a full deck.
Yeah,
Right?
that's true.
Joyce
That's true.
Bulifant.
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 Try. It's from Bellenfant. It's a French.
Oh, it is French. See, I was
It's
on
very
something.
It's like Target.
Target. Bulifant.
It is so great to have you here with us. In a little bit, we're going to be talking about a big event that you are the keynote speaker about.
Yes.
Thank you.
But we also want to mention our little friend Spat, who we are hoping to find a home for.
Adorable puppy.
Spats.
Oh, Spats with an S.
Named by Joyce.
Yes.
Next Wednesday, 11 a.m., first come, first serve.
All
So
right.
one day we had a line out the door for one of our last litters.
Did you?
So
That's
Okay.
wonderful.
absolutely, people should come.
That's
and
what we
line
want.
up.
We want them lined up outside the door because if you don't get this one, there'll be another one that you will like.
And
For
outside
sure.
is where you want to be, right, Jerry?
Yes.
Yeah, not too bad
Absolutely.
today.
Beautiful day.
Temps will be in the upper 90s again. Temperatures will be beautiful today.
All right, let's take a live look outside right now at our friend Jackie and her 2 kids.
Yes, this is up in Big Bear Lake.
Oh, that's Shadow.
Shadow has arrived, apparently. The debate between who Shadow and Jackie is continues this morning.
Well, we got an email yesterday from Gail in Cathedral City explaining, first of all, Shadow is a little more svelte than Jackie.
Correct.
Weighs a little less. Jackie is the mom.
Has darker markings.
Has darker markings on the head, and so, but sometimes the lighting gets a little confused as to who is who.
Oh.
But it looks like it's Shadow that is actually checking in on the kids, because Jackie, as she does every morning, flies the coop.
Right. And
who knows where she goes?
Leaguelets alone. They were born just a few weeks ago.
Cute.
Yeah.
They're growing really
yeah.
fast.
They're kind of ugly at this point.
And darker than I thought they'd be. They kind of camouflage with the nest.
They do.
They say very nice things about the two of you.
You are the
keep that
bird
in mind.
whisperer.
Right.
Do you want to do the honors of tossing it over to Jerry for weather? You can introduce him.
Oh, Jerry. That Jerry?
Yes.
Jerry and the weather.
Like I said, your personality will take over the forecast today. It's going to be lots of sunshine and just a bright day.
I hope.
How's that? 69 degrees right now in Palm Springs under sunshine. Winds are light at the moment.
Thank you, Jerry. Role models and leaders are in the spotlight for Palm Springs Life's Women Who Lead Awards. It's a celebration of bettering our community through extraordinary accomplishments and dedication. And this year's keynote speaker is Joyce Bulifant. From Broadway to films and hundreds of television shows. Of course, we can't forget the Mary Tyler Moore Show. She played Marie, wife of Murray, Gavin MacLeod.
My friend, Gavin.
Yes, absolutely. As we've mentioned all morning, it is such a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you.
And when I saw that you were going to be the keynote speaker for this event, I said, we've got to have her on.
Yes.
To talk about this.
Nice.
Because you've got a story to tell. There is a line in your book that says, it rains in order to make rainbows.
Right.
Oh.
And
I'm sure I stole it from somebody. I could not have come up with that, but it's true.
But it does really say, I think, a lot of what you've been through.
Well, yes, it's been, it's mostly my fault, or part my fault, because of being a codependent person. And I always, a big ego here. I thought a poor, sad person who drank a lot, they must be sad, because if I loved them, they would be fine. They'd be happy and they wouldn't need to drink.
So you thought
Wrong.
you could fix
Yes.
the person that had a problem.
With love, and not really mold them or anything, but if they knew they were loved, then they wouldn't need to drink. Wrong.
Doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't work that way. And it was a lot of learning and a lot of heartache, and mostly for my children. I mean, I really put them through so much, and they've all turned out to be just great. Thank you, God, for that, because they're very individual, very different, and very successful, and I'm so proud of them.
And what did you learn through this journey? Because you came out on the other side still smiling and so positive and optimistic, where a lot of people would not.
Well, it's interesting. I don't know where it came from, but I've always had a belief in a higher power, which I choose to call God, sometimes the divine creator, whatever, the mountains, the flowers, babies, all that are miracles in life. And to look at that, and there's always somebody else who's had a much rougher time than you have, and just be grateful. The other day, though, I was going through a lot of trauma where I had a detached retina, but I was grateful that I wasn't on an airplane flying to Europe, which I was supposed to be. The other day, a car started coming right at me, and I swerved to miss it. Luckily, there was no one on that lane. I was grateful I wasn't hit. But by the end of the day, I was thinking, I wonder if I could just have a day with I don't have to be grateful because all these terrible things happen.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
But so optimistic and so positive. And
there's so much to be positive about. I mean, there's a lot going on in our world now that makes me very sad, and I'm concerned about everything and everybody, and especially the children that are coming up now. How do we help them? How do we give them faith? and help, and knowing that they're okay, you know, but they've got to be good people and not hurt other people.
I know this event is for women, but I want to go.
I'll invite you. You may come. There are men who are coming.
Yeah.
Women who lead
Is
in our
Jerry?
community.
Right.
Jerry, will you be there?
Jerry.
Sure,
Jerry,
yes.
could you please come
Only if I can sit
to
next to
see
you.
women who lead?
It's going to be on the 20th, and it's going to be at the Rancho Mirage Ritz-Carlton.
No, the Ritz-Carlton.
It's so nice up there.
I'm emceeing, and I love emceeing these events.
You know,
because-
I think what an opportunity for everybody to get just a slice of that positivity, you know, that can wash over the rest of us.
And if you read the foreword on your book, you'll want to buy it. I ordered it on Amazon, very easy to do. My 4 Hollywood Husbands.
It's so embarrassing. I mean, originally, well, I'll tell you. Originally, it was Home Sweet Home, Where Is It? Because I've lived in so many homes. And then my friend Bruce called one day and he said, I got the title for your book. And I said, what? And he told me, I said, that is disgusting. That is so tacky.
Let's do it.
I would never. And then 2 months later, I mean 2 weeks later, maybe 2 days, maybe 2 hours later, I thought, but it might sell books.
Yes, it does. Oh, it does.
But it also changed. I had to go in and redirect the book. And I am so thankful and grateful again that it seems to be helping so many people, not only people who are married, but people in relationships of any kind, with their children, with their friends.
We're taking the book right here. We're getting it. Thank you so much,
Thank you, Trino. This is it, My 4 Hollywood Husbands. And I'm sure you're going to be talking about this on the 20th.
Well, I'm not actually.
No?
I wasn't. You think I should?
I think you should, because I think, isn't that the message, though, of what you've been through with 1, 2, 3, 4? They're Hollywood, but then there was another one, a 5th. That was, I don't want to bring up, but there were 5.
A sociopath.
Okay. But the 20th, and if people...
It was only 2 months. This really shouldn't have been... It should have been annulled.
Okay.
You can get annulment if you married somebody crazy.
But Joyce, you mentioned earlier that you suffer from dyslexia.
Yes,
so that's
I do.
another bright spot that you want to shine a light on. So that's what you're going to be talking about.
Yeah.
I am. I wondered what I was going to be talking about.
Now you know.
I know.
Can I just give the phone number if people want tickets and they are still available? It's 760-325-2333. Again, it's 760-325-2333. All right.
I have to tell you, I was on PBS in New York about the book, and they, you know, they're very serious there. They don't have fun like we do. They said, and Miss Bulifant, why did you decide to write your book at this time and bring it out? I said, because I just finished it.
Harumpum.
We'll be right back.
All right, stay with us. And welcome to Tech Tuesday. This week's sponsor is Tory Nissan, and joining us, as always, is General Manager Bob Bailey. It's good to have you with you. With us.
Whatever. This is a party.
It is a party because we have Joyce with us.
And Joyce, wait, I don't want to interrupt this.
Well, I think Joyce is actually in the market for a new car. She's got this old beater that she's been driving around since 2011.
Well, that is old for a car, isn't it?
It's starting to age out.
Really? Sort of like me.
Oh, no, don't ever say that. Never. We never use the word old.
No.
Never, okay?
Ancient.
No, we don't use that word either, no.
Okay.
So this is kind of interest to me, whether you should lease or buy. I've always thought that you want to just buy it and then, you know, deal with it as it comes. But leasing...
A lot of people are like that, but, you know, cars are getting so expensive now.
Yeah.
And you try to figure out, okay, hey, I got this much money to live on. How can I get the most for my money? How can I get the most car for the least amount of payment? And leasing's just another way to go.
All right.
You know, leasing, it might not be for everybody, but it's something that everybody should take a look at.
Okay, we've got a video.
Oh, good. This is just what I
Yeah,
need.
today I thought we'd take some time to talk about the difference between leasing and buying and the advantages of leasing, and just kind of give you some of the insights. You know, leasing's not for everybody. Buying might be a better way to go for you, but I wanted to take the time today to talk about that. One of the reasons people lease is because you get a lot more car for a lot less money. On there, you're putting less money into the vehicle, and you're just really paying for the use of the vehicle. You know, leasing is no different than buying. It's just another way to finance the car. The reason your lease payments are so much less than they would be on a buy is because you're only paying for the portion of the car you use. Like, you've always got the sell price of the car, and with the lease, you've got a residual value. A residual value is what the bank says the car is going to be worth at the end of the lease. You know, and then as you're working your lease, you only pay sales tax on the payment. You don't pay sales tax on the whole car because you're not buying the whole car. So that's another thing to consider. As you're negotiating your lease, as you're talking to the dealers about the lease, make sure you fully understand what the total payment is, including tax. And then when you look at your down payment, how much the total amount that you're going to have to write the check for, including the first month's payment, first year's license fees, so you know all the fees and what it costs to get into that lease.
And you know Memorial Day is coming up. Of course you knew that.
Yes, I knew that. And it's a great time to buy a car. You know, we're going into our summer selling season.
Yeah.
Where the rebates are as high as they're ever going to be, and you know, interest rates right now are as low as I'm afraid.
Really?
That, yeah.
Oh, that's a good thing.
It's a good thing. You know, it's a pretty exciting time for us.
Yeah. So lease versus buying outright. I think it really depends on your needs and really what what you want. And I think
I just need a car.
you need she needs
That's what
4
my
wheels.
need is.
Do you automatic or can you drive a shift?
Oh, yeah.
Can you? Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
You need to get down to that course thing. Where is that?
The BMW.
Yeah, you need to get down to there in
Really?
Thermal.
There is one?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Wouldn't that be fun? So,
We
all
should
right.
all go.
We should. That would be a good
Oh,
trip.
that would really be fun. You wear a helmet and all that stuff? Oh, I would do that.
Wouldn't that be good?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, go see Bob.
Please.
Bob knows. All right. Thanks, Bob, as always.
Oh, I love being here. Thank you.
You are such fun, too, as long as...
Where are you from, Bob?
Originally, Georgia.
I could hear that a little bit, because I'm from Virginia.
Okay. I go back once a year, at least twice a year, for remedial speech. So I retain it.
Oh, they're going to be happy to hear about that, aren't they? We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
I could hear that.
And welcome back. We are outside, as you can tell, with Joyce Bulifant, Bob Bailey, Thalia Hayden, and Jerry.
Hi, Jerry.
Yes, which you are smitten with. So did you have a good time this morning?
I had so much fun. I thought it was 10 minutes ago, and it's over?
Yeah.
You're making me go home?
No, you can stay all day long. How about we want to stick around for the midday?
Oh, yeah.
Would you?
Oh, you got midday?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And evening?
In the evening and
Can I
all of
spend
that.
the night?
Hey, you've got a big thing coming up on the 20th. Women Who
Yes.
Lead. You're the keynote speaker.
Isn't that nice they asked me to do that? And you're going to be there.
I'm lucky. I get to hang out with you again on Monday.
Yay.
Yay!
And
Is
I
it
think
Monday? Oh, my gosh, I'm flying away on Sunday.
Well, you better be back. That's for sure. Jerry, can we get a quick check of our weather?
Sure, yeah. It's going to be like it was yesterday. Lots of upper 90s, maybe even a couple triple digits around the Coachella Valley as we look at the 7-day forecast. Mostly sunny today. Clouds begin to move in late tomorrow. Winds pick up a little bit too. Then Thursday, chance of rain for Southern California. Yeah, we won't see anything in the Coachella Valley. Maybe a few sprinkles in the west end. Most of the rain in the mountains and to our west. And then we clear out the next 2 days after that. The next system, Sunday.
Okay. All right. And again, if you want tickets, you can call Palm Springs Life magazine to get tickets. It's going to be at the...
And it's also a fundraiser for a nonprofit for women 23 years and older who want to continue with their education. I need that.
We all do, don't we?
Yeah.
What a pleasure this has been for all of us to have you with us.
Well, that's
You
so
were such a
kind.
bright light.
Thank
We so
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have yourself a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow.